Hey everybody, I am Charlie Smith, your host of Savannah Music Chit Chat, and I have a special guest in the house today. I would like to introduce you to my son, Kyle Smith. What's up, Bubba?
What's up, dude?
All right,
Good to be
before
here.
we go any further, I would like to thank our sponsor, Savannah Ogeechee Canal Museum and Nature Center. Thank you so much. If you haven't been to the Savannah Ogeechee Canal Museum and Nature Center, then you are missing out on one of Savannah's classic attractions. This privately owned and operated facility has the look and feel of a state park. The History Museum has exhibits of artifacts from the canal era and a film you can review. And the nature trails are excellent. Beautiful boardwalks meander through the swampy shores of the Ogeechee River and feature a special rest pavilion right on the river. It's a great place to walk trails, fish, and get back to nature. In fact, they offer overnight tent camping in their beautiful campgrounds, complete with modern bathroom facilities. Trails are open from 9 to 5, but they are closed every Monday and Tuesday. For all of the details, visit the website at SavannahOgeecheeCanal.org or call Connie, the canoe lady, at 912-748-8068. And I have provided a link in the description. Welcome back to the show. If you haven't already subscribed, we ask you to subscribe to YouTube and follow us on Rumble. Thank you so much for your support. And now, ladies and gentlemen, my guest for today is my son, Kyle Smith, is in the house. What's up,
dude?
Bubba?
How are you?
Man, it's great, dude. We got so much to cover here, man. This is
Good
such
to
a
be here.
sentimental interview. Oh, wow, this is great. Kyle, why don't you tell everybody where it all started from you when you first realized that you had musical abilities like you do?
I can't recall because it goes all the way back to the beginning. I guess I'd have to say from what y'all have told me, you and Grandma said I was on pots and pans banging with wooden spoons when I was, what, a year old? So grew up watching you guys and Toxic Oscar growing up under your drum set and look up to all those guys and didn't really realize it was what I wanted to do, or I didn't start taking it seriously until about, say, the ages of about 12. I grabbed an album, started trying to run through it, started learning. But about the ages of like 15, 16, I started getting into metal music. And I remember that was something you were really happy about with all the screaming and
Yeah, it scared me
all
at times,
the
man.
heavy music. But I just found the drums to be really challenging and the music to be really intriguing at the time, and something that it would take work for me to really to obtain. So I remember sitting back with songs that I just could not master. I'd spend 3-4 hours, just however long it takes, just to get through the song and get to where I could comfortably play it. So yeah, it was around that age that I started taking it seriously. I met an old friend of mine, Alec Gullidge, called me one day and asked me to if I was wanting to get back into music. So me and him started getting together, writing some stuff, and we formed a band called Awaken the Dawn. And those were the good old days, back before bills and all that fun stuff. So we would just get together, a bunch of kids, teenagers, and I remember we used to be downtown and
Sweet Melissa's.
Do you remember Sweet Melissa's?
I do. I remember.
We'd be playing in the basement of Sweet Melissa's, and back in those days we were getting paid in pizza, and we're absolutely happy to do it. We just did it for the love of the game, and so it was good times. Took a break from music for a while after that, moved up to Augusta, and started trying to pursue some work-related things up there, and just kind of fell out of music for a while. But ended up moving back and got in touch with a buddy of mine. Garrett Johnson called me and asked. He said he had this guy that he'd been playing a lot of local spots and doing a lot of cover tunes and stuff, and he ran the music by me, and I was like, that's really not something after coming from the heavy metal scene, I really didn't think I'd be playing this kind of music, Rolling Stones and just some old classic, Bill Withers, some things like that. But I got into it and found out I was really enjoying it. So I played with those guys for a good little while. And then, of course, that led into me and you getting the opportunity to share the stage again with FAQ. So that was kind of the journey into it. And we've been playing with FAQ for what, a good year and a half, 2 years now?
Oh, yes, and we'll get into that in a second. My question is, how did it feel to have your 70-year-old grandmother come come in the mosh pit at Sweet Melissa's to support you in your music.
It was definitely interesting times, but that was one of the things I loved about the metal scene is as crazy and as rowdy as everybody gets, you know. You get my 70-year-old grandmother in there, the camaraderie back then was so awesome. And they would look out for people like that. They would recognize the situation, what's going on. And
they did.
Yeah.
So. I thought I was going to have to swing a couple of times in there, but I didn't. Thank
well, I'm
God,
glad it didn't. Glad it didn't come to that.
I'm teasing.
Glad it didn't come to that.
As far as the FAQ, my God, son, this was the most incredible sentimental journey I've ever had in my life with you.
It's been awesome.
We decided, we talked about it, and we decided we wanted to play with FAQ, and we were going to do the father and son duo, which we have a guitar player, father and son duo, and then the Godfather on bass, Mike Major. The music was outstanding, and the crowd really took to us right off the bat. Yep. That was a blessing right off the bat. During that era, did you have any special moments playing with FAQ and your dad?
Oh yes. Not only did I get the privilege to play with some just incredibly talented musicians that were on a level I hadn't. Not everybody gets that opportunity. I looked up to you, you know, and Uncle Mike for years, and always that was one of my dreams is to play with Mike Major on the bass, because he's got that, you know, coming from the metal technical, just this kind of the driven machine type thing. He's just got that groove and that feeling for it. You know what I mean?
Funk. Yeah.
He'll make you want to move a little bit. You know. So yeah, that was awesome. Some of the styles of music we got to play, some of the Tool, the Rush, the Led Zeppelin stuff, some of it, you know, more my era, but some of it I grew up listening to y'all play, and I was like, one day I'm going to have to prove myself that I can play Rush too.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. You proved yourself to me when you were a little boy. It was crazy. Kyle took music very seriously, more than any kid at that age. Kyle would come to band practice with me dressed up as Superman. He would come in there in a Superman costume or a Batman costume, sit behind his drums ready to go.
Well, I wanted you to know I meant business.
Crap serious, man.
I was there for the real deal, so I wanted everybody to know that.
Yeah. So. You know, since then, Kyle, you've been turning a lot of heads in Savannah. You've been the talk of the town for a while, a very technical, solid, upcoming drummer.
I feel like you're just saying that because you're my dad.
No, I'm not, son. That is definitely not why I'm saying it. It's because I call it like it is. Depending on what you put in is what you're going to get out. No doubt in my mind and in my heart that if you keep going the route you're going with music, you have the opportunity to be one of the best drummers in this town. And I feel strongly. It's not because you're my son. It's because it's a fact.
I don't want to get into the comparing game too much, because I think what's most important is like just getting out there and enjoying it. You know, I don't want to be ahead or behind anybody else. I just want to get out there and do my craft and enjoy it.
So you're basically saying that your dad's shoes was very hard to fill? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, between the ages of 6 and 7, I thought it was it was going to be a struggle. You know, I got a little older, 11 or 12. I was like, I got this in the bag.
And you did, son. I'm so proud of you.
Man.
Words cannot describe how I feel. I mean, it is amazing. Let's talk about some of your influences that you got to play on stage with.
Well, there's been many. You know, growing up with you guys, and y'all were always playing. You know, obviously to follow your footsteps, those are big shoes to fill. And I learned later after I met Mark that was one of your mentors, and to find out that we get to share the same stage with somebody that mentored you, and then, you know, me always looking up to you, that's just special. You know, that's a cool feeling to be up and watch the legacy.
Yeah, it was passed down to us, and to watch your eyes when Mark started hitting that first groove.
I'll never forget quads.
You looked at me and you said, "God, Daddy, he still got it." I'm like, "Yeah, the fossil can still play, man."
Oh man,
just kidding when you bubble. You know, Kyle, a lot of people in Savannah did not know that we come from a really good musical background. Your grandmother, my God, was one of the best piano players back in the day. Your grandmother played with a group called Savannah Madrigals, and was very good friends with Johnny Mercer and Kenny Palmer, and did a lot of work with Johnny Mercer.
I remember you showing me the album with her. I didn't believe it until you showed me that album with her picture right there on the back. I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah, so we come from a good background, you know. She was amazing. So that's where it all started from. So, FAQ, You played at Coach's Corner.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any other shows that stood out?
Yeah, Coach's is a great spot. They've always been a home for us. You know, I don't know if you remember, that was our first show. Very first show we played was at Coach's.
Very sentimental show.
That was a good show. I felt like all the friends and family showed up and showed out. And it was a special one. Obviously, it was the first one we got to share the stage on, you know, getting to pass the sticks back and forth and everything.
That was beautiful, man.
That was fun. But I don't know if you remember, you tried to mess me up there for a second. You go, the song, we've only performed it once, but it was the song Colorful.
Oh, yeah.
She kind of dedicated to Grandma. And you go up to sing it, and you decide, okay. You turned around to me right before we're about to get into it. You sung the intro. You're like, I love you, Bubba. I was so confused. I was like, why would you do that to me right now on stage when I've got to perform? You know, I'm trying to keep my emotions in check. And
Daddy's crying over there.
that was actually a really cool moment.
It was, Bubba.
Meant a lot.
Almighty, it was.
It meant a lot, and that was a killer show. It was a killer show.
Man, we
so Coach's has always been a home, a place. It's probably one of my favorite places to play. And then we get travel a little bit out to Beaufort, you know, the filling station.
The filling station was awesome.
Ron Boyd out there.
Thank you, Ron Boyd. You're awesome, man.
Yep, he's always taking care of us out there, and what a beautiful spot to play. Great food, overlooking the water, just a beautiful spot to play. So that one's nice. We got kind of an exciting one coming up here soon, from what I hear.
Oh yeah. Actually, I was at the Thomas Close show, Me, Myself, and Us show last night.
I bet that was a good one.
Oh, it was great, man. Thomas is awesome, brother. He has got it going on. And I was sitting there on my phone because Brian Goldman from Victory North had texted me and said, okay, the date is open for December 9th for FAQ. And about that time while I'm reading it, Thomas called me out in front of the whole crowd. He said, Charlie, and I was like, I said, well, at least you told me, you know, you have business spots right now, you know, a plug for my business. I said, can you plug my business? He said, yeah. So he gave us a plug live on the show last night.
That's where we're playing.
Victory North on Victory Drive, December 9th. It is going to be friggin' awesome. They have an unbelievable sound system.
That's what I've been hearing.
They have a good crew. The whole place, the whole venue is absolutely awesome. So
should be a good time.
Yeah, you and I get to go jam it one more time.
Well, we need to make sure it's like the first show then that we played. We need everybody, each and every one of our friends and family to show up and show out.
Savannah, we're calling on you for support. December 9th, Victory North, Savannah, Georgia.
Be there.
Be there or be square. But son, before we go, I just want to tell you I am so proud of you. I love you so much. You are becoming a badass young drummer.
Thank you, man.
This whole journey has been incredible with you. And I look forward to us doing this a little bit more before I have to retire.
I really appreciate it. But seriously, what did I just say about the emotions when I'm on the spotlight?
Don't cry.
Don't.
We'll be okay.
Yep. No, man, this has been a pleasure. I'm really happy to be here. I think what you and Eddie are doing is absolutely incredible. The local Savannah music scene needs this kind of support because it's been lacking in areas for years, and I think this is just really important to the city. You know, and I just hope it grows from here. You know, there's so much undiscovered local talent out there, and I hope y'all keep, you know, pulling it in.
Thank you so much, Bubba. Savannah, if you haven't seen my son play drums yet, you're missing out. Get to Victory North, December 9th. We thank you so much for watching. God bless you.